The U.S. Supreme Court rejected a challenge by Texas to the Biden administration's policy on deporting certain immigrants. The court ruling was 8-1, with the opinion being written by a Trump-appointed justice. Fox 4 Stephen Dial live with what all this means moving forward. Stephen.
Well, controversy is building once again after ICE immigration police dumped dozens of asylum seekers across the state, including here in the capital city.
Yeah, city leaders say about 60 asylum seekers were dropped off at the Greyhound bus station on Florida Boulevard. Senator Bill Cassidy says the current immigration crisis is a result of the, quote, failed policies from the Biden administration. Advocacy groups say it's time that lawmakers put away their differences.
Louisiana is holding a record number of migrants detained at the border. Since last year, the Wynn Parish Correctional Center is just one of several jails to start detaining asylum seekers, making Louisiana an unlikely epicenter of the migrant detention under President Trump and bringing cash flow to rural areas.
Some are taking part in a nationwide day of action in response to the recent deaths and mistreatment of migrants at immigration detention centers. One of those deaths was in Louisiana at a facility in Gina. A 42-year-old man there died after spending more than a year in detention. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, he was being held despite being recommended for release. The initial cause of death was cardiac arrest.
This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. We turn now to Louisiana, where residents of areas devastated by Hurricane Laura may be forced to go weeks or months without power. And people held in immigration jails there report horrific conditions.
On Tuesday, a Cuban seeking asylum in the U.S. who had been in ICE custody in Louisiana for months died by an apparent suicide. Royland Hernandez-Diaz had been on a hunger strike and had claimed abuse in prison. Louisiana has become a center of America's migrant detainee effort, housing almost 8,000 of the more than 51,000 people currently behind bars.
Friday, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a lawsuit by Texas and Louisiana saying the Republican-led states have no standing to challenge a policy narrowing federal immigration enforcement.
They're not written by raging liberals. The majority is written by Brett Kavanaugh. The concurrence is written by Neil Gorsuch. These are conservative thinkers applying conservative principles.
Immigrants detained at the LaSalle and Jackson Parish Correctional Centers say the two jails are flooded with urine and feces after the storm. They don't have electricity, clean food, or water. This is a video posted on Facebook by a man inside the Jackson Parish Detention Center after Hurricane Laura.
Advocates blame the administration for detaining legitimate asylum seekers who could otherwise be released with future court dates. They say the jails in Louisiana epitomize the problem.
It's just the fact that you're detaining people in such rural, isolated places makes it not only difficult for the person themselves to fight their case, but it even makes it nearly impossible for them to get attorneys to represent them.
Governor Greg Abbott and Texas Republicans have continued to spend billions of dollars on stopping illegal border crossings. Most recently, Abbott announced a plan to put a floating border wall in the Rio Grande. After the ruling, Governor Abbott called the decision outrageous. Constitutional lawyer David Cole disagrees.